All righty, we want to bring you now a story that is definitely got a lot of attention. There was a cold case. 40 years ago, a teenager was killed here in Michigan. Police were never able to find who killed her, but with the help of college students and DNA, they were able to crack the case. Karen Drew has the story.
Kim Louiselle loved poetry, spending time with her sisters, just being a teen. What happened in her last few weeks of life is a mystery. The questions begin on 8 Mile near Merriman in Livonia. It was March 20th, 1982. Kim had just left her boyfriend's home, called her mom from a gas station payphone to say she was headed home. Kim decided to hitchhike, something she had done before. She never made it home.
When did you know, Bill, something was wrong?
You could feel it.
Days would turn into weeks. Kim's mother remembers how police kept asking about her daughter being a runaway.
She was not a runaway. She was on her way home. And that afternoon, they came back and told us they had found her.
Kim's body was found here at this park and ride in South Lyon off of I-96.
She was nude, and she was found in a kind of a clump of trees, small shrubs.
An autopsy would show she had been dead for 4 to 5 days. So where was Kim the 3 weeks before she was found? The search for answers intensified, but that search would go cold.
About 15 years ago, I just started Googling her name to see if I could find anything on her.
Cindy is Kim's younger sister. She's dedicated herself to help track down Kim's killer. From making and posting flyers, starting a Facebook page, she became a pseudo-detective. And then a twist in the case, a new set of eyes. Michigan State University students taking part in a cold case internship, working with Michigan State Police. We profiled their work last fall. They were working on Kim's case.
Young girl who was hitchhiking, that was the last time she was seen.
While they sifted through all the boxes of evidence and files, there was a name that caught their eye: Charles David Shaw. You see, back in 1983, someone tipped police that Shaw had lived in the area of where Kim lived, recently destroyed his apartment. They thought it was suspicious. Cops took note, but never tracked down Shaw. The cold case college students, along with MSP, remembered Shaw was connected to a 1983 murder, Christina Castiglione from Redford. In that case, police were able to get DNA from Christine's body.
You've got the DNA of the killer.
Correct.
But you don't know who it is.
Correct.
So then you take that and you say, let's see if we can send that to these companies who collect DNA.
Correct.
And make a comparison.
Yes.
And it works.
The DNA match comes back tied to the Shaw family. But remember, David Shaw's DNA was not in the system, so police had an idea. They tracked down Shaw's son.
So you go to him and say, listen, we think your father could be a killer and we want your DNA to see?
It was a match. Christine's case was solved. Police would discover Shaw was dead. He killed himself not too long after Kim was found dead at that park and ride. So, could Shaw be connected to Kim's murder?
We immediately switched gears and started focusing in on Charles Shaw. We created maps of any locations that he was pinpointed at.
We did a property audit on all the property and all the evidence that we had in Kim's case.
The students, along with detectives, took the evidence to the MSP crime lab and asked for it to be retested. And then, 4 months later, results, a hit. 1 sperm cell was found.
We are 100% confident Charles David Shaw is responsible for the death of Kimberly Louiselle.
The family just got the news a few days ago. Kim's murder had been solved.
I mean, you've got college kids becoming pseudo-detectives trying to piece this together.
They did a good job, didn't they?
Yeah.
They did a great job.
It's been a long time. I'm glad I'm still alive to see it.
All right, this is a fascinating story, and you have to tell me more about these students, though, at Michigan State.
Right?
Yeah.
I thought, like, gosh, wouldn't that be cool to sign up for that class?
Exactly.
So, yeah, a lot of them have different backgrounds, but it is a cold case, like, internship. So they get it for a semester, they sign up, and then they try to find cases that they feel they can obviously maybe make a little progress on, but they also are trying to find a case that the family's invested in, because you need somebody to care. So in that story, we were hearing about Cindy, the sister, who cared so much. So they're like, okay, there's a connection. She might be able to help piece things together. But that's what the class is about, and it was really interesting. They kept saying it's younger eyes, it's a fresh vision. They don't have the policing and the politics.
Oh my gosh,
and the
they
documents.
must not even have the staffing to be able to do that. And you think about how many cold cases are out there, and if you just then get people who are hungry and thinking about things maybe in a different way, and just can start to turn things.
And that is part of the thing, because we all talk about like police agencies, they don't have the staff to be digging, and that's why a lot of these cold cases go cold. So you can find it's a great program through Michigan State. You find some interested kids, you tie in Michigan State Police, you work together, and these kids were saying many times, they were like, they went to bed thinking, oh wait, what about this? Or what about that? Or what about this? And that's when one of them saw Shaw's name listed in a document. They said, wait, he had an apartment that was torn up, but wait, wasn't he involved in that hitchhiking case? And that's when they started thinking, and that's when they were able to put those pieces together.
Oh, so you think these are future, detectives at Michigan State Police or in any municipalities? Or did anyone talk about like what they'd like to go into? Is it all law enforcement, or maybe lawyers,
Some of them was law enforcement. Some of it, there were no quote lawyers, but a lot of them were just like, they saw those CSI shows, or they saw all that stuff, and they thought, I wonder what. A lot of it was just, I think what made it successful was they were just curious, curiosity. So
there you go.
Some of them may get into it, but some of them were like, I don't know, let's just dig. And when do you get a chance to actually get a file and look through like a murder file? Like, I don't know. You and I are similar. I would be like, let me look and see what it is.
But be part of something that you're able to then help that family, and that was so good to be able to hear from them.
Cool. We didn't record, but they did go and meet the family face to face.
They did.
And we wanted to have that. That was private time. But I will tell you, that mother, she was just like, thank you. Thank you so much. You finally gave us closure. And she went to the grave later, and said, I feel more peace. I feel more peace because of what these kids did for our family. So
there you go. All right. Thanks, Karen.
Yeah. Thanks.